All right, I'm going to walk you through homework 0, this practice problem using MATLAB Grader, just to make sure that everybody knows how to use it and, is able to do this kind of practice. So generally for the MATLAB problems on your homework, I'll give you a prompt up here and tell you what to do. There won't be, too much else on there besides the prompt. But here I'm giving you some instructions about what's going to happen when you click different buttons in the MATLAB Grader. So if you click Run, that will run your code, and just to check if there are any glaring syntax errors, I suggest you kind of do these problems in your own MATLAB script file first and then kind of come in and put them into the grader. So this catches just syntax errors. But to actually submit your work, you need to click Submit. That will actually grade the work that you've done. You can click Submit as many times as you need for homework problems. And the grader, I believe, keeps the most recent score. So just make sure that the most recent submission you've done is the most accurate. Few things to keep in mind. The grader can be a little picky. If you don't define all of the variables, so if I say, x equals pi, y equals negative 4.6, and then I don't define z, the grader is going to kind of throw all kinds of errors because it's looking for z. So if you're not sure how to do something, just give it a value, say z equals 0 or something. If you weren't sure how to use it, it'll then mark z wrong, but it won't freak out. So yeah, some of my advice here is to try running the code on your own MATLAB instance or in MATLAB Online first. That's just faster and gives you a sense of what's going on. And then when you feel confident, put it in the grader and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. Here's the script. I just give you the same kind of instructions here. Nothing too exciting there. All right, x equals pi. You can put the semicolon if you want. That just suppresses the output. Remember, that means that if I hit run, nothing will show up, but it's okay. It's just being suppressed. Y equals negative 4.6. Z equals x plus y. All right, so run will just run the code, but I've suppressed all the output, so nothing will show up. So let me just show you what that looks like. And we're waiting. Code ran without output. That's because I suppressed everything. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that I'm hiding all of the computations, and that's fine. The thing you don't want is some error. So say I did this, x, y, instead of x plus y. That's going to give me an error. Let's wait and see. All right, unrecognized variable or function x, y. That's the problem. I'm missing that. Okay, so this will just tell you if MATLAB would give you an error, not whether or not your answer is correct. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now let's see if our answer is correct. So I'm going to go in here and click Submit. That actually submits this for grading. And we wait. And it's correct. Yay! If it wasn't correct, so let's say I just had z equals x instead of x plus y, hit submit, we wait, and it tells me that z is incorrect. So then I'd go up here and say y, and I'd look back at the prompt and I'd say, I am missing something. And then I would hit submit again. So you can hit submit as many times as you want on the homework. For some of the check-ins, if I have used a MATLAB grader, there might be a limit to the number of submissions, so just be careful with that. But for the homework, you can submit as many times as you want. Okay, that's this part of the homework. I also want you to submit a file containing all of your code. So here, I'm going to go ahead and open this. I'm going to go to my homework file here. So I already kind of made this for myself. If you wanted to look at, the template, this is what you'll see in the template. So what you would then do is this little button, this little arrow, Save As, and then you can change it to whatever your name is. So I'll just call this one Dr. K because I already have a Dr. Kuryansky. So there you go. Now I have my homework template, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste. Oh, not that. Let's go back here. That was one of my bonus videos, my bad. I'm going to go ahead and paste this in my MATLAB. So there we go, I've pasted it. I'm going to save it, and this is now the file I'm going to upload. So in subsequent homework assignments, you'll have several problems. So this is the first problem, then you'd go down here and have problem 2, you'd have some other code, and then you'd have problem 3, you'd have other code. But in this case, there's only one problem. So I'm gonna go down and click Next. Okay, here's where you can find the template that I just showed you. If you want to download it, it's there. Submit assignment, choose file, and let's go to where that is, homework 0. That's the one that I just made, and submit. Okay. The reason I'm having you submit the script file, that's what that's called, a script, there's a couple reasons. First, that's what you're going to do for assessments and for the final exam. So I'm not going to have a MATLAB grader for those tests. It's just going to be, you're going to submit a script file and then I'm going to grade it. Two, it kind of lets me double check several things. If MATLAB grader doesn't catch something or if it's being kind of shady, I can go back in and check your work myself and make sure that everything's okay. And then lastly, and probably most important, is that this allows you to keep all of your work. So if you're just submitting stuff to MATLAB grader and you're not saving it anywhere, once this course ends, you're probably not going to have access to that anymore. So it just gives you a nice way to kind of keep all of your work together. Okay, that's my thinking behind it. That's how you submit some of the code for your homework, and you'll get lots more practice with this next week for homework 1. Let me know if you have any questions.